Good morning. This is Mark Sobowitz live on a Clarion Voice, and we hope that you're having a great day and that you're going to enjoy what God has brought us today with nice sunshine and all that sort of stuff. But today we are going to talk with Matt Giese, who is the manager of Templeton Hills Community Farm. And Matt, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here. This is an honor.
Okay. Tell the folks how long you've been affiliated with the farm and what a little bit about your background.
Yeah. The farm started about almost 4 years ago, and it came as an idea through the church I've been going to, the Seventh Day Adventist Church, and we had this idea to start a community garden, and I poked my hand up and was like, I would like to run it like a farm, like a well managed farm. So we can get the most out of this land as we can, and everybody I can manage it, and everybody gets to come up and volunteer, work the farm, and we get to either donate the produce to the community, or people can come up and harvest themselves. But yeah, I've been born and raised in this county. I grew up more in South County, and slowly been moving north. And me and my wife and three kids started gardening, right when we had our first son at 22. And it's just been a really fun experience for us. And now it's just really fun to be able to share that with the community, what we experience in a garden.
Very good. The produce that you distribute,
Yeah.
who is the beneficiary of that? Are specific groups involved or individuals?
We have been contacted with different organizations that will give fresh produce out, like Slow Glean has been in contact with us, and they pick up produce. They have people that have extra, and they give it to organizations that'll go to families in need. We have so many people coming from the community that it really goes out on a weekly basis. I don't have refrigeration there. I don't store it. So, which is amazing because it's a lot of produce that just gets into people's homes. So mainly it's the people that come up at harvest that will get the produce.
And your main day is Sunday, correct?
Yep. Sundays around 9 to 2 is the main day that we're open every Sunday. And it's a really good time to come up and fellowship and meet with people and just really enjoy the gardening experience.
Okay. And then during the week, if somebody is not able to come on Sunday, they
Yeah.
can just call you
Yeah.
and make an appointment so that you can be there to help them.
Right, right. I can, personally give you my number. We have business cards up there available on Sundays, but I'm there Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays doing various work. But my number is on Facebook. If you can find our Facebook at Templeton Hills Community Farm, and just during the week, you can reach out to me to make sure that I'm there, and then it's a good opportunity to come out and help.
Okay. What motivates you about your work?
Um, I think really we were created to be immersed in a garden, and Eden was pleasure, and I think even though the results of sin has been you're going to toil and work hard to get the fruit of the ground. It was so easy back in the original creation. And I think there's a small glimmer of that when you do gardening and you're outside and you see the amazing processes of from a seed to harvest. It's really amazing, and it brings a lot of joy to us. And I think everybody that comes up there, there's no frowns in the farm. Everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, giving away flowers and produce. It's something that it's inherently in our design that it brings joy. It really does.
Very good. And so, as far as the your fellowshipping and your ability to communicate with people,
Yeah.
has that borne fruit as far as bringing people into your church or into any other church for that matter? I mean,
Yeah, it's a slow process, but there has been people that have started coming to church. We do farm Bible studies on Thursdays from
okay.
5:30 to 6:30. So we have a lot of people from the farm that have come and go from that, but a lot of regulars. But that's been a really big joy for me too. I still don't see myself as a minister, and it's hard to put yourself in those shoes. But I think God really knew what He's doing, and I'm just I'm following where He's leading, And yeah, I'm running Bible studies. I give sermons. I'm probably on over a dozen sermons so far at the church,
Oh, okay.
and it's just amazing the feedback I get from it. People are really blessed by it, and so I think this life of ministry is kind of where I'm going to continue to go.
Okay. Do you have many people working there with you at the farm? Do you have
Yeah.
volunteers? How many people are involved?
Yeah, we have a lot of regulars. Some people that have been in there from the beginning. We have really good church members too that'll come during the week. So, a lot of I leave a lot of the less technical work for people that want to come up. So there's in all walks of life, really, in all circumstances. And a lot of people are like, I want to help, but it's hard for me to bend over. And it's like, great, I got tables and stuff that you can do. That would just be standing up, sitting down, planting seeds and transplant cells or thinning seeds. And then I have folks too that come up that are better at harder working. So I gauge what people can do and their skill levels, and I'll train them on stuff. And I got a lot of great high school kids that come up from the Earth Club from Templeton High School, and they're great at pruning tomatoes. I train them on to
Okay.
prune tomatoes, and it's nerve wracking for me because you do the wrong trim, it can really be devastating.
Right.
But I find people that would be good at that. And then it's, they come up and I'm like, hey, there's the scissors, you know what to do, and go after the tomatoes and prune them up.
Very good. You were telling me a story earlier about a young person from the group Options
Yeah.
here in town.
Yeah.
Tell the people about this particular person.
Yeah. County Options, as you worked for before, works for the mentally challenged in the county. And they reached out to us 6 to 8 months ago, and they come every Monday, and they bring a group of like 3 or 4 people out, and it's just the highlight of my week. I love to start my weeks like that because at first they're a little, it takes a while for them to warm up, but now the people that keep coming back, they love hanging out. They see our dog Milo, and they love to see him, and they want to talk to me about everything that's going on. And then one kid, Jasper, that's been coming up every time. He is the pepper expert. He knows everything about peppers. He knows all the hot peppers, the Scoville levels. He'll name them all.
Really?
He knows more about peppers than I do.
No
And
kidding.
so I'm like, Jasper, what you need to do is get whatever peppers you want to grow up here. You bring the seed, we'll start them. I'll give you your own pepper row. And it's just been really great. His peppers look better than mine. I show people all the time. Like, my peppers didn't do very good this year, but for some reason, Jasper's peppers, they're twice as tall, twice as big.
And he's just
And
bringing you seeds to. And then
yeah, he
just,
brought seeds, and I showed him the whole process, and he participated in the whole process. And then he was up there yesterday, and he was telling me, hey, we need to do this with the pepper, do that with the pepper. So we staked them up. They were kind of falling over and tied them
right.
in. And it's just fun to see him open up like that, because he was really kind of shy at first.
Well, that's
You know.
in working with the developmentally disabled, as I did as a job coach, it takes a little bit of
Yeah.
time to develop a trust with them and a relationship. And once you've done that,
Yeah.
they're as reliable as
Uh-huh.
you can get.
Yeah.
More so than others.
Yeah.
I found that out. With my experience. So,
Yeah.
Matt, tell me, what do you think is the biggest challenge that you have as far as you know, running the farm and
Yeah.
dealing with the all sorts of people that you deal with on a regular
Yeah,
basis?
I think the biggest challenge that I face would be I'm a hard worker, so I got the work part down. It's becoming so popular that uh, I want to meet everybody that comes up there. So it's hard to do that. I don't like to see people come up there not introduced, not showed and given a tour. So it's encouraging more of the church members or volunteers that want to be like a friend and build relationships with people. So I think that's the hardest part of it all. I mean, the work can get difficult, but really the work up there is to build relationships with people. So um, like on our first Sunday of every month, we do a free blueberry pancake breakfast ran by one of our church members, and we see 100 to 150 people on those days.
Wow.
And it's hard to talk to everybody,
Sure.
and especially people that want to come up and talk and build friendships. Um, they might need more time, but I really encourage anybody that wants to, uh, uh, you know, reflect the love of Jesus in people's lives and to come up there. Any church. This is a great way to be an icebreaker into building a friendship and just reflecting and just being friends. And that's what
Mhm.
God wants us to do, is just to be friends with people.
Do you produce enough uh, of a crop to be able to distribute to, a number of groups or individuals? I mean,
Mhm.
is it enough, or do you need to expand the property?
So the first year we started on one side, we're about an acre, a little close to an acre flat area that we have. We started on one side and we did, one small hoop house and a little greenhouse and a few outdoor crops. And it really got busy in the first year. So we tripled in the second year, we tripled our production. We maxed out on how many things we could fit in there. Um, but I would really, the idea was to grow enough to be able to give to organizations that help needy families. It's hard for those organizations to get fresh food.
Right.
Um, but I feel what happens is mostly it all goes out to the people that come up. So we might have a abundance. Like I grow a lot of Swiss chard, and I don't think people could eat that much Swiss chard. So we have an abundance of some things, and we're looking at partnering with other people that would be able to distribute those out in a wider
Okay.
area. So I think the
So,
more we get better at it, the more produce we grow.
okay. Okay.
We'll get the production will get always get better as the soil improves and we get better at it.
Okay. Okay. So that's what you're basing that on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that there's Loaves and Fishes and the
Hmm.
food bank, and
Yeah.
I know that the church that I'm affiliated with has a pantry
Yeah.
in Atascadero through Legacy Church.
Yeah. It'd be great to partner with that. It's a little difficult to get all that stuff harvested and packed, cleaned and packaged. So a distributor doesn't do that process. So we have we've been building a nice cleaning station with a greens bubbler is what I like to call it. So you can put your produce in there and it agitates it, cleans it, and then we're trying to purchase a large like salad spinner to dry it all out.
Okay.
And then that way we can have a better facility to have volunteers come up and package everything
I see.
and get it out to organizations like that. Because organizations like that, you just drop off a huge thing of lettuce.
Right.
You can't, you know,
Okay.
you'd
So
have
that's
to
the good.
bag it.
That's the goal, is to be
Yeah,
able to advance it to that point.
it would be nice.
Very
Yeah.
good. Okay. Um, I usually ask this of people that I interview, so I'm not going to make any exceptions.
Yeah.
Um, where do you see yourself in a year?
um, I think continuing what we're doing here at the farm. Uh, I want to move away more from the work side into like community side. So we want to start doing more farm to table dinners. Take the pancake breakfast thing is a really has been really a joy to see everybody sit down and fellowship together. So we're hoping to add in like a pizza oven, and people can build their own pizzas and have once a month dinners at the farm.
Very nice.
So more of that, and then classes too for kids or adults for gardening classes, and just really be able to broaden our footprint in the community and get more fellowshipping going on.
Okay. And what about ministry? How do you see
Yeah.
yourself in a year regarding your ministry?
Um, I think the Lord has been guiding me on a trail of ministry that I never thought I would be that person. Uh, it it's been a blessing, and I'm really happy to do it, and it's an honor. So I want to continue on that footprint. I mean, the pastor after the last Bible study, he's like, I've been getting this a lot from my mom and other people at the church. He's like, you ever prayed about going in to be a pastor? And I'm like, I haven't prayed that prayer, because if I do, I know the Lord's probably going to say yes. Because I don't think we should ever feel that we've, made it. If we had that attitude of
Right.
like, oh, I'm the minister, I'm the pastor,
Right.
that's, the
Right.
minute you say that, you probably shouldn't be one. So it's good to stay humble and be like, all right, Lord, I'm showing up. This is my motto. I show up, Lord, you're going to do the rest. Because I'm sure in a couple of my sermons I've been come out with a pool of sweat because it's very
Understood.
nerve-wracking,
Sure, absolutely.
because I'm not a perfect person by far, but I definitely see myself continuing the ministry. Maybe I don't know if it's the continuing. I've been talking to other churches about starting up farms, so maybe continuing the farm and broadening it out to other
Oh,
churches.
very
If
nice.
they have church properties, it's a great way to use the property and draw people in, or maybe going into a pastoral type role.
Okay. If there was something you wanted to say to somebody
Yeah.
uh, who's watching this right now,
Mhm.
look into the camera
Yeah.
opposite you and tell them
Mhm.
what's on your heart.
Um, I think here. Really is just meeting people where they're at. I think it's amazing to look through the Gospels and to see how Jesus interacted with the disciples. Peter, for example, had a lot to learn, and Jesus didn't come out and just point out all his flaws right at once. He met him where he's at and continued to show him and get him to understand the change that he needed to make to be more Christ-like. So it's as and the more and more like we met, Aurora Williams is the one that kind of got us together.
Mhm.
And I really commend her. She goes out to the homeless, and no matter who they are, she treats them with love and respect and kindness. And I think that's what we need to be doing to folks and other people to really get them to understand who God is just to meet them where they're at, maybe look past their flaws and continue to show them who God really is.
Very good. What a great interview. Thank you,
Thank you.
Matt. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
And if you want to get in contact with Matt and Templeton Hills Community Farm, you can look them up on Facebook, and then you'll get your contact information to talk to Matt. And if you want to make an appointment during the week, be sure to call ahead so that Matt knows you're coming. Otherwise, you can contact us at clarionvoice.com, and we can also direct you to Matt as well. And so this is Mark Sobowitz with the Clarion Voice.